functions of money, I'm going to kind of go through this pretty quick, but think of it, it should be like a store of value. Money, it doesn't go rot. It doesn't rot, it shouldn't go bad. So, you're not going to hold your value in like a fish, right? It's got a limited time. So, if you got think of a dollar bill or gold coin, they hold their value long term. So think of that's one of the functions of money. Unit of account, you're able to barter on agreed upon value, right? Everybody, they need to agree that the value that you're buying something for is held in that, whatever it is, the dollar, the gold, the cow, crypto, we'll talk about. Medium exchange, some people think this is the most important function of money. It needs to be acceptable. So be thinking about that. I think that's one of our missions with the Minnesota Crypto Council, is to educate on crypto as it becomes more acceptable. It might lead to in the future where more people can use it to transact. So some of the functions of money, types of money, think of a commodity. Way back before they had dollars, people would use gold and silver and cows and seashells. What was the book someone was saying that referenced seashells?
Bitcoin Standard does.
The Bitcoin Standard? There you go.
One of them.
Okay, yeah. So if any researchers out there, the Bitcoin Standard is a good book. Kind of talks more in depth on that. And then it moved to representative money. So think of like when they first started printing money, it was backed by a dollar. It was representative, right? The dollar was equal to a certain amount of gold held in reserves. And then, anybody know what happened in 1971?
Off the gold standard.
Follow up, who was the president that did that?
Ricky Dickey.
Yep. So they took it off the gold standard. What does that mean? Meaning it wasn't backed by gold anymore. So very simply put, they started printing more dollars than it was backed by the gold. So they, instead of $1 to 1 gold in this example, it was $2 to 1 gold, $3 to 1 gold, and that is the creation of inflation, right? So fast forward to today, fiat currency is really what we're all familiar with, and if you study currencies over time, it happens, and it's kind of cyclical. They go literally in that order, representing money, what's acceptable in that culture, and then they start printing more than it's backed by. And at the end of the fiat currency, we go into a hyperinflation stage. We won't get into that too much, but some people think we're kind of in that right now, right? Stuff's going to get more and more expensive as they print more and more dollars. So fiat just means let it be so, right? So we still use the dollars because, it's backed by the good faith of the government, and like we talked about, who knows how long, but the dollar's got a pretty good stronghold in the world. So it could.
Yeah, you're fine.
Oh, there we go.
There you
My last slide. Oh no. And then last slide, most important, the characteristics. So be thinking of these 4 things as we go through these quickly. So durability. It needs to hold up. Whatever we agree on to be used as a currency, it needs to hold up, right? Gold's very durable. The dollar's pretty durable. You can burn it, right? But for the most part, it holds up. But think of like a cow, right? Or a fish, right? They got a lifespan. They're not going to hold up very well. Portability, you need to be able to transfer it around. And that is why, the dollar bills they're much more appealing. And fast forward even today, we don't really use those a whole lot either, right? We mostly use our credit cards or debit cards, vice versa, So portability, you need to be able to move it around. Divisibility, you need to be able to break it down. And I just wrote there, right? You can't really haul your cow into town and slice off a section of it to have the equal value of what you're buying. So it needs to be able to break down a $1 bill, a $5 bill, etc. Uniformity, is the unit agreed upon, right? So whatever you're buying, you got to agree that the currency you're using is worth that amount, and we all need to agree on it. So some of the limitations, as you can expect, with even gold and commodities such as like animals and cows, like some cultures would use, how do you have a fair exchange? Limited supply, if it's not limited, it's subject to inflation. So think back to the dollar even today. Is it really a truly limited supply? Can they create more and more? So they're printing a lot. Is crypto a limited supply? I'm asking, I don't really know. Right? Some say it is,
Depends on
right?
the crypto.
Yeah, like Bitcoin, is there a limited supply supposedly?
Yes.
Yes.
Right? So the limited supply creates the scarcity, it creates the rarity in it, and that's what is more likely to keep its value. Versus if they can just create more and more of it, it decreases its value, right? And then acceptability. And I think, back to that, one of the missions of this group is to, teach the public a little more, so over time it will be more acceptable. And then as the dollar gets more and more and more printed, there might be company or countries over time that just stop accepting it, right? So, yeah, hopefully that's helped. That's kind of an intro into what is money.